us on the broadcast. Sanjay Jha, what is your stand on Sanjay Raut saying that, this meeting between the Prime Minister and the delegates is nothing but politics?
Swati, good evening. My answer is going to be very straightforward. Number one, I don't think any political party or individual has to, get a certificate from the BJP or Mr. Modi's government to prove their patriotism or their nationalistic credentials. So let's put that absurdity behind us. Here is the fundamental point. The horrific terror attack in Pahalgam killed innocent citizens of our country, including one unfortunate citizen from Nepal. The opposition stood with the government, and that includes all parties, the Congress including, saying that whatever steps you take in terms of your reprisal against Pakistan, we will stand with you in solidarity. The issues that the opposition has since raised, whether it's Rahul Gandhi or anybody else, are not mutually exclusive from the support given. The opposition stands in support with the government and rather the Indian armed forces for fighting so bravely and carrying out the targeted objectives of Operation Sindoor. Hats off to the Indian armed forces. The tragedy in our country, and Swati, you'll agree with me, you're a pretty well-known journalist, that politicians should not take advantage of military successes in a crude manner for their own political and electoral gains. And that's where the problem arises. Secondly, when the opposition, Rahul Gandhi asked if the planes went down, later on corroborated, by the way, by the CDS General Chauhan when he was attending the conference at Shangri-La in Singapore, that some planes probably did go down, and after a couple of days, India was back, with all the aerial support. But the issues here are that if questions are asked of the government, they are equally a responsibility of the opposition. We represent the people of this country.
Yes.
For example, General VP Malik, and I'm quoting a man who was in charge of the Kargil war, the triumph that we had, who, when the ceasefire was announced by Donald Trump, he made a specific statement on his Twitter. He said, what have we gained by this very abrupt closure of our military operations against Pakistan? Does it make General VP Malik or General Chauhan anti-national because they said things that India could have done differently? No. The same applies to the political parties. Yes, there is a lot more rhetoric. I'm not going to deny it.
Yes.
Both sides have got into a rhetoric mode. I'm not going to deny that. But it cannot take away the fundamental, I would say, duty and responsibility and a right to ask questions of the government where they may have been woefully short. That's all.
And I also think that the political parties in that case need to issue statements and advisories saying that only statements made by the party president should be taken into account. Because, you said that the opposition party supported the government in every decision they took. And I want Shekhar Iyer to come in. So when the Indus Waters Treaty was put in abeyance, Mr. Shekhar Iyer, Mehboob Mufti said that, the resources are being weaponized. When the government spoke about ceasefire, rather even before the government, the DGMO spoke about it, that we've reached a ceasefire understanding, the conclusion that the opposition drew was that ye to surrender ho gaya. So was the opposition really in totality standing with the government?
Well, Swati, see, when you are talking of opposition, in this particular case, it is not one collective opposition. See, within the Congress party, there is Rahul Gandhi and his company. Their views are completely different from what other senior Congress leaders feel, that there is a time for everything. And, as soon as the Operation Sindoor started, and the first reactions of, say, Kharge and Rahul Gandhi was just one sentence, and their the body language was such as if they were not too happy that government has resorted to Operation Sindoor. Because in the run-up to that period, they were demanding why you have not started an action. Why have you not, already committed to a retributive action? Subsequent to that, what did you see from Rahul Gandhi or under pressure from Mallikarjuna Kharge was completely different from what other senior Congress leaders were feeling. Otherwise, why would Salman Khurshid, why would Shashi Tharoor, Manish Tiwari, Anand Sharma, they did not think that this was any time to, raise questions. Let the operation is supposed to be under pause. And in those days, in those 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, several things happened. Right from beginning, what we achieved to what we finally saw. Several things happened. So, but then the worry of Rahul Gandhi and co, the approach of, say, senior leaders like Sharad Pawar on one hand,
Right.
leaders, each. So therefore, I don't think the whole opposition looked at it one particular way. But there is a section of opposition leaders who, even for instance, even Trinamool Congress. See, initially Mamata was upset that that she had not been contacted, and therefore after that, when Abhishek Banerjee himself name was proposed, and government spoke to Mamata.
Okay.
Our parliamentary affairs spoke. After that, she also agreed. But this was not the way response.
So you're
with
saying the
Rahul Gandhi
opposition was divided and only nitpicking, interested only in nitpicking.